we have completed the second week, which we talked about the different types of business entity. And this, in fact, I'll give you some, and I have also shared you what are the new opportunities have been created in this budget, which has been announced by the finance minister. So there are a lot of things which needs India is moving towards ecosystem, entrepreneurship ecosystem where they want to create through the startups. So now you have a lot of opportunity, even starting your own businesses within India, and even starting a business outside India also. Like I'll give you uh, some references in reference to the number of companies which has been registered in 2023 and 2024. If you find that's 1,85,000 companies in 2023-24 has been registered. This is under the so now this is under the Corporate Affairs Ministry information which I'm talking about. Okay. So you can understand that is what really the changes is happening. That more than 1,85,000 companies were registered in the last financial year. Fiscal higher than the count recorded year ago in 2022-23, it was 16,600 companies were set up. Now, now, as per now, what we are talking about is what now this 1,59,524 companies were registered with a collaborative paid-up capital of rupees 18,132 crores. So that is in 2023. So now, when we had already discussed that in the in your course also. Now, when there are very different types of you want to take choosing a type of Indian what type of business entity you like to look forward. Because what happens is, let me tell you very honestly, if somebody as an individual wants to start a small business, right? We are not talking about a big business. We're talking about there are different opportunities they want to resolve. The main important thing which comes into the play is the capital, the investment, what you're going to do it. Okay. So we have already discussed there are different types of entities or business entities in India which is functioning. Like we have public limited companies, we have private limited companies, we have partnership firms, we have joint ventures companies, we have one person company, which is this concept has started in India slowly. Then we have sole proprietorship. Then we have NGO coming up. It's already there. And we have limited liability partnership also. So when you talk about these all, I hope you have already determined or you have already thought about whenever you want to initially start a small business. And let me tell you a small example also. There are a lot of women entrepreneurs. They want to start their own business, right? Initially, they may not get a helping hand or they may not get a loan from different banks. So what happens is that government has created a lot of opportunity today. And in this opportunity, I want to make you aware that is you should be knowing there are a lot of schemes, a lot of uh, uh, loan schemes are offered by the government, and that is in 2024 in the budget also it has been announced like MSME loan scheme are there, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is there. Then the most important thing is SIDBI loan is giving. That is what is important. I want you people can start connecting with SIDBI. SIDBI is also giving a seed fund for initial startups to start their own or to take their ventures or prototypes or ideas to get into a venture mode. And even you have credit linked capital subsidy schemes also there available. Then MSME loan schemes, it's only approved within 59 minutes, but actually you need to, because you need to apply because it is for this is been introduced or the loan about 1 crore rupees loan amount is being sanctioned within that, and usually it has to be gone through a portal, right? So that aspect we're going to come in the next course, in the due course of the time, and in the next week 3 you will be understanding what are the initial stages of opportunity created with EDPs and incubation centers around in your home state. But let us know now. Hope you people have decided Now, I hope you have decided what type of entities you need to form. So the basic thing which I want you to make you aware today is, whenever you think to start up business, the first thing you need to understand, what are the resources you need to require, what are the resources you require, and what are the resources you need to take it forward in terms of venturing out your startup. So now the resources which you're going to talk about here is, now we have very different entities or different types of business entities formed in India. Like if I talk about uh, uh, one person company, right? Now this is usually in India. This concept was not been there, but now it has already started a one person company registration. Now, to be honest with one person company, what happens is that there are a lot of advantages in that. It is implemented under the Companies Act 213, and the benefit of the entrepreneurs who have capacity to operate a company on their own, but successfully, the paid up capital of the shares for OPC shall be around 1 lakh. So you don't have a lot of risks too, because initially what I'll suggest you is that if you initially want to start your own business, right, with a small amount, so especially for women entrepreneurs, you can start with one person company, or you can take forward as a sole proprietorship. Even sole proprietorship is a kind of company. Those I hope I had interacted in the first week. Some of the women entrepreneurs, they are working as in the corporate, but they want to start their own uh, venture at the one point of time. So I was talking to them. They had their own passions. They have their own dream to start into handicraft business. Somebody wants to start in the food industry. So what I'll suggest is, initially is better. That is, if you want to have a one person company, then what happens is shareholders here have a limited liability rights, and that this type of business is easy to incorporate. So that is the reasons you need to decide that is, and that and the legal aspect, the legality aspects of this one person company, we will be talking in the next. And so the legality part, when you talk about, when you try to register with one person company, you just state what are the things you require for that. You should be careful. You should know that, because the women entrepreneurs who are being into the corporate life, they at one point of time they want to start their own dreams. For them, I just want to tell them that is the documentation parts are registrations. Documentation is very easy for them. The one thing is that for if you're ready with these documents, you can go and register with any of the chartered accountant. You can meet them, and you can take forward your documentation part, so that what exactly you require for, what are the documents you require for a one person company. Like you require a PAN card, or it may be a foreign national or an NRI. So again, the second thing you require is a copy of an Aadhaar card or a voter ID or a passport or driving license for you, and your copy of the current bank statements or a telephone bill or a mobile bill or electricity or gas bill, anything you require, and a copy of a passport size photo, and a copy of specific specimen autograph or an impression which you require. So these are the documents which you require in terms of opening for one person company. So I hope these are documents can be available with everybody. So normally we do carry that is. So initially what I'll suggest is the women entrepreneurs or the startups who don't have the resources or back-end support in terms of don't want to take a risk. Take care. So I'll suggest to go for a one-person company. But problem, I'll tell you that this what is that one-person company. If you want to register in one-person company, is better that is it cannot be converted into a private limited. That is what the disadvantage is. So what I'll suggest you is, if you have thought, or you can start with a sole proprietorship company also. So in this kind of registration, in which you have a single individual controls on the entire business management. So property, the owner shall be regarded as a one entity, or shall bear himself the whatever the loss or the gain is going to take forward. But if you want to set up this sole proprietorship, you don't require such a lot of documentation. Say you need a KYC documents of the bank, utility bill for the business place or whatever, and the license issued through the shops or and Establishment Act, and income tax returns for the proprietor, and any two of the documents could be submitted to the bank account opening with the identity and address proof of the proprietor. So the business in proprietorship is registered only on the behalf of the one single individual. So you can also talk about that. On all accounting shall be conducted on owner's account for income tax and GST compliance, and that we're going to talk that, and PAN number of the owner. In this scenario, what happens is the owner must bear the unlimited business liability. So now you need to, that is what I was talking, some of the women entrepreneurs in the last week one. We just wanted to talk, I was just talking to one of the a banker. She is working in a bank and she wanted to start his, and she was very curious to that. She had a dream to start his own business. So I was suggesting her ki, rather to leave a job, rather to you can focus on your limited accessibility to create your own network, and then and understanding the business proposition on a handicraft business within India. She's from Gujarat, and you can she can connect with the handicraft associations in Gujarat and try to create a network and understand the business model functioning within India. And then slowly she can transit from his corporate life to a company or a proprietorship company or a one-person company. So there she can have this less risk factors getting into her head. So this can be a one way where we want, that is that where the documentation part is very easy. And so you can decide that is whether you want to go for a one-person company or a sole proprietorship. There are a lot of startups which normally what they do is that normally today's startups, normally what they're doing, they do have a partnerships. They want to go for, because you want to collaborate or correlate with a lot of expertise people coming together for a particular startup idea, right? You cannot have a single, if you want to have a prototype idea. So what happens, you need to have some expertise from different fields coming together and to create a partnership. So in this is one of the different types of forms where company deals and transactions are done by the partners, right? So here, especially specified in terms of obligations, positions, and number of shares withheld by the two parties. So now you need to take care of that. What are the documentations are required in this? So here, the date when each partner joined the corporation, that is what the most important thing is. The complete name and the full address of the partners is required. Then place and the principal place of business of the corporations you need to be required, and the name of any other place where the partnership carries on the entity, that is also required, and duration of the partnerships and other details are also required in that, where you need to decide the proof of ownership or rent or lease or the location of the business where you want to start your business, a PAN card copy of the partners or Aadhaar card or a voter ID. And regarding the statement in the form 1, which is being prescribed, has a prescribed fees. So, and even you're going to go for a notarized true copy of the partnership deed, also declaring the name of the firm and the nature of the business of the corporations also. So these are the statement, and the statement should be signed by all the partners of the corporations and need to be verified by the affidavit in a specified manner. And another important thing is that specified in the agreement, the gain and losses sustained by the companies are split among the partners. So today you will find a lot of startups, even we'll be having a question and answer sessions on that. So I'll be talking to some of the startups who are actually, they want to start their own ventures, and there are a lot of students there initially right now in India. This is a trend has been happening, a lot of that. And people have started involving into setting up their own businesses at the early age. That's the most important thing which you are getting a trend in India. So the startups are getting these propositions how to start, and they get up into the partnerships and taking forward. Even I have also interacted with a lot of startups. They have started their private limited companies also. So now another important aspects which we had discussed in our courses also, that is called limited liability partnerships also. Now in limited liability, which I hope somebody is getting involved into starting thinking about limited liability partnership, which we have already mentioned in the course, that is, it's minimum of 2 partners we require on that. And it is being launched with the companies or a partnership firm, and it is listed. We require some of the registrations or documentations we require in that, and that documentations is the proof of the address of the registered office, or proof must be given during the registration or within 30 days of the incorporations. The no objection letters for the landlord must be sent to the registered office for leasing or and the liability of the partners should be determined by the number of their shares capital, which these are the legal aspects of, and the other parts we'll be talking about in the next course of what we have it. And compared to the sole proprietorship and partnership, the limited liability partnership is more trustworthy among its investors. I tell you, this is honest. Whenever we look into that, we look into the angel investors or any other funding sources, you want to scout out. That is most important thing. They look into the what type of business entity you have registered. That is the most important thing, which we'll be talking about the due course of the course, and you'll be also knowing we have other course instructors will be talking about the different aspects which we're taking forward, and even some of the documentations or document required for the partners of the LLP, that is a limited liability partnership, is the copy of the current bank statements, phone bill, telephone bill, or the gas bill must be submitted as a proof of residence by the partners. And even the copy of partners must also have a photo of their plan, background photos of what you want, the passport size as per the rules, and the PAN card is required. And the copy of the address proof is such as the voter ID, passport, driving license, or Aadhaar card, that is required for them. And the copy of the passport is required for NRIs. If somebody's so foreign nationals, they normally require the copy of the passport for that. Now you need to decide that is, if I want to go for a limited liability partnership, this is because for the investors perspective which we have to look into that. So startups normally try to have the limited liability partnerships also into that. So LLP, we talk about this. So now the next we had talked about is already we have discussed about that is the private limited companies. Now in private limited companies, normally we have we need to register. Usually what happens is whenever you try to set up your own business, right? So unless and until what I suggest you is that he registered for a small companies according to the requirements of it's a Companies Act 2013, right? So here you require 2 members, right? So you require 2 members and a maximum of 200 members, maybe the members of the corporation. Or in this type of business, there is the group of shareholders, right? And then the total capital is composed of shares owned by the each members. So here the documentations parts, you will be requiring an Aadhaar card. You require a rent agreement copy if you have rented a property, and PAN card, a copy of the directors, and the scanned copy of the property papers, attached a landlord NOC if you are renting a place, or a copy of electricity bill or a water bill, and the copy of a passport size photos of the directors. So these are the documents which is required. So in a private limited company, the liability of the shareholders is limited to a number of shares only owned by the members. So that we have already discussed, and you have kind of gone through that. So I don't want to take, we're not going to discuss what we have discussed already, which you have already gone through the course. Just to put a limelight into it. Now, you people, now whenever the startups want to start taking into the consideration, what are the different aspects needs to be taken care in terms of implementing? Like there are even another opportunity coming as Section 8 companies, right? They are registered, the company registers is a non-profit organizations, NPOs. So that if you want to have these documentations, you require some of the documentations for Section 8 company limited registrations, like copy of an Aadhaar card, voter ID, and the copy of the directors, and a copy of rent agreement copy, 1 copy of the PAN card, and the same things which has been required for the other. And even you require the copy of the property papers and the copy of attached to the landlord NOC. The same documentation which is required for, which we have already discussed in other private limited company also. So this now what I'll suggest to is whenever you try to define your goal in terms of adapting what type of business entity you want to prefer, it depends upon the propositions or ideas which you want to take it forward for a long term. So now that is what we want you people to understand here is whenever you try to decide what type of business I'm going to get into it. Now you need to have, everybody does not have to have ample of monies to resources to take it forward. There are a lot of cutthroat competitions happening. So now I already told you that is there are a lot of companies have been established in India, and they have winded up, or because of they might have due to some reasons, and even they have been companies which has been uh, uh, they might have diversified it to a new business, taking understanding the present trends of the business going up in the market. So there are a lot of things happening in a dynamic status quo where we need to take care in that. So what I'll suggest you is that whenever you try to define your business entity for a particular company you want to set up within India, especially in India, you need to be carefully understand some of the points which is very uh, important to take care is how much the nature and the range of objectives set for your business. That is the most important thing. Is second, the degree of control you want to desire. Third, the capital needed and available resources of funding. This is the most important thing. Is because if you talk about LLPs, we were talking about are good options if you desire more control, right? So, however, in limited companies are trusted by the investors. So, commercial lenders or banks because of the stringent disclosure and requirements and compliances. So that is the reasons you need to prefer, and how much liability are you willing to bear? That is also important. Ask yourself if your industry is susceptible to the lawsuits, or if your answer is yes, consider forming a limited company to protect your personal assets, right? And then LLPs do not require a regular meeting records except for the minutes book. So in India, LLPs are having a better trends in terms of adaptation or registrations. So a lot of startups, they go for LLPs. So now another thing is that because the rules keep changing year to year, so we recommend the consulting your tax and audit experts to find out which business entity is the best, which is going to suit you. So these are the things which we had discussed in our entity in our week 2, and I hope you have taken care and you have taken your decision also in terms of that. Now we get on to the question answer sessions where we try to address your questions, and we'll try to identify whatever business entity can suit to you in terms of your business ideas, or in terms of the resources what you have been available. And more important thing is, and in what stage you are exactly you want to take forward your business ideas, whether it may be a family business or you may be starting your own business in terms of that. So now that is what I want exactly. So now we can be open to one question answer session. Can I have the questions from you all? Yeah. So we have a question here. Somebody can come up. Then I can address some of the questions is being shooted on the WhatsApp, on your message, on your chat box. I can take forward that. Yeah. Anybody has a question?
So there's already one question on the chat box.
Okay. I can see one question here. He's talking about limited liability and unlimited liability. 1 minute. I just want to have it in. Ajay, are you there online? Ajay, are you there? Ajay, I don't know. Ajay, are you there? You are there. Fine. Let me give you the difference between limited liability and unlimited liability, where you can take it up in that. So when you talk about a limited liability and unlimited liability refers to that is called, then we refer to a degree to the which owners of the business are responsible for the company's debt and the obligations. So limited liability means the owners of the business are only liable for the amount of money they have invested in that business. And their personal assets are not at risk if the company incurs a debt or illegal liabilities. But this is a common features which is there in LLPs also. And if you're preferring that is, when you talk about unlimited liability, on the other hand, it means that the owners of the businesses, such as the sole proprietorship or a general partners, which we have discussed in a partnership, are personally responsible for all the company's debt and obligations. If the business is somehow you're winding up or you cannot pay its debt, the owners may have to use their personal assets to satisfy the liabilities. So these are the common features of the proprietorships when it comes into the general partnership also. I hope, Ajay, I have answered your question. Ajay, are you okay with the answer? Yeah, you have replied that is the reason LLPs are preferred over. You have rightly pointed out me that is preferred about OPC and sole proprietorship. That is also I talk about is when people don't even start OPC also because sometimes sole proprietorships also. So they try to prefer will having an LLP. Anybody else having your questions?
Hello, sir. Namaste.
Yes, fine. Tell me.
Good day, sir.
Good day. So I just some echo is happening. Can you just check some echo is happening from your end?
Oh, sorry, sir.
Just check once so that I can hear you properly.
1 minute,
Yeah.
sir, please. Sorry for the disturbance.
No issue. Tell me. Yeah, tell me. Tell me your question.
Sir, is it okay now?
Yeah. Tell me now.
Sir. Namaste, sir. Actually, I'm Sai Krishna Priya. I'm a postgraduate in pharmacy field. I'm a pharmacologist.
Okay.
I have worked in R&D department. And simultaneously, I have completed my post-graduation in music, Carnatic music.
Okay.
So, by combining my scientific knowledge and my music knowledge, I am healing people on music therapy.
Okay.
And also, apart from music therapy, I have gone through some frequency therapy techniques.
Okay, great.
For that, I have already gone through some instruments for this frequency therapy.
Okay.
Right now, I want to inaugurate one healthcare clinic model.
Okay.
For that, I have to buy one medical device that is used for frequency therapy only.
Okay.
But it costs around 20 to 30 lakhs, sir.
I got it.
How can I go through this? I have no idea on business, but I'm just healing my patients. That's it. I know.
Fine. I got it. So that is what I was talking about. For I have shared some like what I'll suggest you is you try to approach SIDBI. Okay. So SIDBI will be the best to give you. But SIDBI, what happens is sometimes they always prefer to have MSMEs. Okay. So SIDBI they normally give helping hands to the MSME businesses only, and that are in dire needs of funds. That is what is because, however, they also provide to indirect loan schemes to NBFC or so. Normally, what happens is what I'll suggest you is whenever you are trying for a medical instruments, right?
Yes, sir.
Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what I suggest you is, do you have you registered your company under NGO or a trust or anything?
No, sir, not yet. Actually, I have some contact in nearby bank, and they said that I have to register some clinic name using some name. I have to register Ujjam registration.
Okay.
But initially, I have no idea about this. By following
Okay.
your classes, I am getting some little information. That's it. I have.
Perfect. So what I'll suggest you is there is one grant is there. Okay. If you
Sir.
can note it down, I can tell you.
Yes,
There is
sure.
some biotechnology ignition grant scheme, which comes every year. So it gives you around funding grants around 5 million.
Sir.
So you can try putting this grant. Okay. And what I'll suggest you is try to collaborate with our research lab. It's the best way. The first thing which you should try is that you can collaborate with your nearest research, you can approach some research lab,
Sir.
right? And
Yes.
collaborate with them, right? And start getting grants through biotechnology ignition grants. I'll share you the link also. You can check this. 1 minute. I have shared you on the chat box.
Sir, for this, should I need to go to any office or any other?
No. What I'm saying now, can you put me the questions on the chat box so that I reply you on the same?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Just put me on the chat box so I reply you on that.
Okay, sir.
Now look, what I'm suggesting you is you don't require to move to. What I'm trying, that is where you need to connect with the lab, research lab. Okay? Because what I'll suggest you is when you tie up with the research lab, okay, then you register yourself with an NGO or a trust. Okay?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
what will happen is when you collaborate with the research lab, so you will start working because direct funding, usually what happens when the NGOs can apply some fundings, right, under the BIRAC. So the BIRAC is one of the funding is a Biotechnology Industry Research Assistant Council, right? So they
Sir.
provide some biotechnology funding programs in India. They're running continuously. They're running every year. And this call comes up every 1st January and the 1st July. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm just sharing the name so you can find it out in your 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
1 minute. This is a scheme, okay, which will help you because in this we require a research lab also. If you register yourself in NGO, you register as a trust. Okay. Then what you do is you collaborate with some of the research lab. Okay. And apply this biotechnology ignition grant scheme. Okay. Even there are a lot of other schemes which is normally coming up. I can share you can send me an email also, where there is a lot of opportunities where NGOs are receiving grants. Okay, trust. The trust was also receiving grants in terms of, but equipments normally what happens, you have to connect with the research labs. So when you connect with the research lab, you will be able to get the accessibility to that, what type of the lab infrastructure, because they look into the infrastructure adaptations in terms of what type of you're going to apply that. Okay.
Yes,
so normally what happens is usually comes to the universities or research labs in India. So, but they also create an opportunity for trusts where they can collaborate with some research lab and they can start getting funds for that. And within that fund, you can try to regulate your fund for your trust where you want to set up within your area. Okay.
Yes.
So this is one of the scheme. And there are a lot of other schemes you can find. We will share you. You send me the mail so that actually every year there is an opportunity where the trusts or those who want to interested in setting up their own labs, or research instrument or medical instrument, they can help them. They can support you with that in terms of the setting up a lab infrastructure, because you require an infrastructure for that. So that is the reason I suggested you register your trust. Then second, collaborate with some of the research lab within your area. There may be a lot of research labs in universities or what I say, or incubation centers also. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And try to connect with them. Try to connect and get a support system from them, a mentoring support of them. And then slowly you can start applying for some of the grants which I have talked about as biotechnology ignition grants are there in India, which normally you can try to adapt any instrument for required. So you can put it in your budget, which you can diversify your business portfolios according in line with the universities or the research lab you're going to tie up with them. So the first thing, try to identify the research lab which is already having the same instrument, or you can connect with them, collaborate with them initially right now.
Yes, sir. Sure.
So that slowly you will start assessing to the grants. You cannot directly approach to the banks. That's the most important thing.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Hello, Dr. Saket. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Joseph, tell me.
Hello, sir.
Oh, fine. We were searching you literally. I don't know. You went up offline. You said you're pinking on that. I said, what happened to Ajay? Tell me, Ajay. So how things going up?
Things are very well, and I am following the lectures, going through all the weekly lectures and quizzes, and they are very enlightening. I am learning a lot. So let me brief about myself. My name is Ojasv. I also go by OJ as my nickname. And I belong to Western UP.
Okay.
And, I'm 29 years old, and I have been working in Indian IT industry for over 8 years now. And all into software development. From past 3 years, I have also taken up roles of project manager, technical recruiter, and corporate trainers as well within my organization.
That's great.
And so the reason that I opted for this course is like after gaining this much of experience, and throughout my career, I have been into client-facing roles. So my clients are usually based in USA, and we develop software applications for them. So over these years, it gave me an opportunity to develop this confidence to interact with the client, know their pain points, and develop technical solutions around them. Right.
Okay. So do you have your offshore clients? You do have offshore clients, or foreign clients you do have, right?
Right, sir. So so far I have only had clients based in USA, and there are a few clients with which we are in discussions, and they are based in UK, Europe.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And sir, the question that I asked regarding limited and unlimited liability, I think it is very clear to me now, right? It depends on. It also requires what sort of businesses you are dealing with, right? As you mentioned that the liability is especially in terms of how much debt a company could have or the capacity it could have, right?
Yes.
And
so that is the most important thing, because what I think that is, you might be thinking for after a few years that you create this is what exactly happens with an IT industry, guys. Let me tell you very honestly. You create your own clientele base, right? It's an open forum. I should not tell that is, but it's a way you take it forward your career, right? Because to avoid the burnout, let me tell you, IT industry after 20 years or 10 years, 15 years, they work in the industry. They create their own clientele base, and they start their own business. That's what happens. That's what happens. Take care. So this is what exactly we are notifying, and maximum of the IT industries goes for LLPs. Let me tell you very honestly. So normally, why they want to get, because they go for a partnership, right? Because they want to have partners in US, or they need to have partners in sitting on Australia. So they need to collaborate, and they need Indian friends. They might be having Indian friends associated in a different place. So normally they go for preferring for LLPs. That is what its concept is. I hope this is good. That is, you have taken up something. And so, what is your future plans?
Right, sir. So, like over these years, this has given me confidence to, handle the client. And I was wondering to start my own venture. Like I have done some project as a freelancer that has given me further confidence. But like there were few clients when I was discussing projects with them, then they mentioned about some, business having a business to business transaction, even though it is in
Okay,
a different country. Right.
got it.
So that came as an impediment to my growth, right? I couldn't win that
Hmm,
client just based on that.
okay.
I do not have that sort of entity in my hand with me that I could
Hmm,
execute that transaction. So
hmm.
this is the challenge. This is the challenge that I faced back then. And like, is there a way
What?
that this could be mitigated in future?
No, what exactly? Now, can you tell me more elaborately what the situation was exactly?
Sure. So
Huh.
it was a California based client. They are into shipping business and they
Okay.
wanted their software upgrade, right? Whatever software
Perfect.
they had, there were some complexities with that. And there was another requirement of database optimization, right?
Okay.
Now, because this transaction uh, could have beyond gone beyond $10,000, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
and client didn't want it to client wanted it to execute in phases, right? So
I got it.
client asked me plan for like give me a quarterly plan. So give me the 4 plans that you will be executing next year for this
Right.
problem, right? So it was
Right.
not an urgent requirement.
Okay.
So and so that proposal development plan was not a challenge. I could have easily broken
Huh.
down the task, over the period of 4 quarters,
I
and,
got
and the
it.
payment would have been released accordingly. So after one
Right.
quarter, I would have delivered the technical artifacts, and after
Right.
the client has tested them, they will be paying me for the
Got
agreed
it.
amount, right?
Right.
So
Right.
and they put up this condition. So Ojas, we would require a business entity based in India so as to execute this transaction.
Okay. Okay.
And
Hmm.
so I cannot recall exactly what was the limitation with them, and they also not clarified that in that great detail. But I think it was related to some tax benefit that they might get being a US entity and doing a business transaction.
Okay.
So is there such clause that even if the business is based in USA and they do transaction with non-US business, so what are the
Okay.
like pros and cons around it? So I didn't had idea about US business, so I couldn't convince them regarding that as well, right? What benefit do they have if they transact with a individual who
That is
is
a
non-US?
yes, yes. That is a problem happened with them is that they don't have an office in India. Okay.
Yes,
This is a
yes,
bigger challenge.
correct.
Okay. So you whenever you try to handle a client, US clients, especially offshore clients, right? The first thing you need to understand is, do they have an office in India? They try to.
Okay,
You just try to identify the first condition, that is. Because when you're trying to have transactions or because there is a double taxation between India and US, which comes as that is called as double taxation avoidance agreement.
okay,
That plays a crucial role in promoting, that which is a uh, uh, trade agreement between both the countries. What happens is it provides a double taxation here when you are trying to do a business in two different countries. Okay, so they don't want to have a double taxation for income. That's the
okay,
problem, and so that is reasons they try to say that is somebody can take care of this. So obviously there was some initial which you could have understood, that is they were trying to avoid this double taxation avoidance agreement.
okay. Right, right. So it would have
So
been a lose-lose deal for both of us. I would be also
yes,
paying the tax, and they being a business will be also paying the
yes.
tax.
So
Okay,
normally to avoid that, the first thing they said, na, ki, do you have? They did not have. That is the first proposition when you try to handle clients. That is so. This is playing. We talk it as a double taxation avoidance agreement, which is playing an important role in service industry, especially.
okay,
Okay. So that is the reason what happens now. You will find a lot of IT industries, they have already set up offices in different countries.
That's correct. Yes. And most of them
You'll
work in
find
this
that.
model only, right? There is a US entity,
Yes.
and by the same name,
Yes.
there is a ex India Private Limited
Yes.
entity set up in India.
Yes.
So that's
So
the
that is
reason
what
behind it.
this is what exactly happening, and that is
Okay.
what they want to avoid, that tax, because the burden comes now into. And again, another thing what happens now, there is a forward rate and the spot rate, means exchange rates. There's also fluctuating. If US is fine because US dollars are stagnant for a few. They are stagnant. They are
Okay.
not fluctuating for. But other countries, they want to do business with other countries. Normally there is a fluctuations. But that is not a major. But this a major part comes up is this one is
Double
DTA,
taxation.
that is called
Yeah.
Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement.
Okay.
This is creating a problem for IT industries doing business. That is the reason you will find, that is what I said, all IT industries from India have already set up the foreign ventures, foreign establishments. So that is the reason. So they have started doing that.
So any country we are transacting with, it's good to have an office in that country and then have a transaction.
That is what is they try to that is what I said, the people now they're starting LLPs.
Okay, right.
They can. Why they're starting LLPs? You will find one friend is there in Australia, one friend is there in US.
Okay,
They're creating a clients.
Sorry
They're
to
creating
interrupt.
clients.
We can have non-Indian partners as well as a part of LLP.
NRIs you can put it now.
NRIs, okay, that's good.
Yes.
That's good to know.
And that will help, because there you are also going to avoid. There are a few things which you need to take care of that part.
Okay.
That you're trying to avoid this proposition also. They're going to create now they want to create a client for you in their country. Okay. So they will take care of they will establish a small office there. And every IT industries people are doing that. Every IT industries they after 10 or 15 years they start their own business in that way. They're doing that way. So they're saving monies on the tax itself. That is the whole liability of the game playing up with the startups.
Okay, so like this was the one problem statement that I was working upon. There are other as well that I think we'll get.
You gradually will come to that.
Yeah,
we'll have good sessions. We do have the market valuations also whenever you want to sell up, right? What happens today? There's some trends are happening. The startups, they function, they work on a particular proposition or an idea for a particular period of time, 5 years, 6 years, and they want to wind up and they want to sell that. And they want to restart another new venture. So they're doing it. That also we do have a session. So we'll be talking about in the coming courses. It was nice talking, Ajay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Can I have questions from Madhav? Ajay, you can just put off your camera so that others can come out on the screen. Yeah. Thank you, Ajay. I want to have more questions. Anybody else? Devang, you have a question, right? Devang Joshi, are you there? Devang, can you hear me? Can you come on the screen? Can you put off your mic? You are asking that is books and references mentioned on the website enough to learn or gain knowledge about the setting up a business entity, as well as the technical knowledge or establishing a business? My question will be, Devang, that is, this is only a limited references or books we have mentioned on the website. If you need more references or irrespective of different business entities, their guidelines and everything you require, just write me a mail. I can provide you a basic information which you require. Apart from the resources or information which we have provided, beyond that also we can send you more information on that. So do send us a mail on that, Devang. Okay, Devang, can you hear me? I hope you have got an answer for that. Yeah, you can write me a mail and just tell me what exactly on what are the different business entities you are looking into, and what type of technical what are for establishing that business entity, what are the things required in India, and most important thing, the rules keeps on changing, right? So you need to be aware of that time to time. So if you're really Devang, are you into a business, or you are what is your profession? Devang, what is your profession? Okay, so you are doing PhD, right? So I have, so what made you to join for this course? Ayurveda pharmacy is a very exclusive and specialized area. So you have a very good, unique topic along with you. Uh, so I hope after completing. Okay, so you were thinking to change. Obviously, you complete your PhD in Ayurveda pharmacy. You can start your own. What I say, eco nature. What I say. Uh, uh, what a naturopathy. You can start that in your local place, and you can register as a trust or whatever. Maybe you can take it forward, and your research is going to work there, because you'll be having. You belong to which place, Diwan? Gujarat. Okay, there are a lot of uh, medicinal parks are there. Okay, let me tell you very. So you will identify there are a lot of medicinal plants you can set up. You can do a lot of research in that, and even I will suggest you that initially, after, I hope you have attached with some of the universities right now doing your PhD, so you can start uh, identifying some new areas of research happening in Ayurveda. You can take forward. So the so that you can align with your future perspective of identifying a business proposition out of that, because Ayurveda is going to, it's that's very difficult to create a market, but still you need to create your own market in terms of the uh, reachability to the uh, people, how you reach to the people, how you connect to the people, how you convince the people, and more important thing is how the people is going to accept that product. That's the most important thing they look into it. Ayurveda, and there are a lot of preferences. Even in export market, in European markets, the Ayurvedic pharmacies are more exclusive there. But you need to have a lot of certifications, accreditations need to be to certify that product before exporting. So that you that you are right into the business PhD. You are doing PhD, so you can align with the. I hope you might be doing some. Might be developing some compositions of pharmaceuticals. Are you doing so? Are you developing some product, or any, what you're developing there in Ayurveda pharmacy? Devang, are you there? Okay. Okay. So you are trying to that you have to minimize the use of the herbals, right? Okay. Thank you so much. You can write me a mail on that so that I can connect to some of the where the Ayurveda pharmaceutical. There are a lot of countries there. There are export market is very used in that. So now you can start identifying, exploring some new research areas into that. Yes, yes, true. You have taken a very, in the European countries, the Ayurveda pharmacy products are being accepted. Let me tell you very honestly. So you can take up that propositions, working with your research, aligning your research into a venture in the next future days to come. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, anybody else before we wind up? Anybody else has a question? Anybody else? Yeah, Lovis is asking some questions. Sir, will we get the notes of the courses? The notes exactly what exactly the notes you require to do send us, Lovis Goel. You can send us a mail on that. And what we have to do for getting the certificates, right? Now look, once you complete this course, when you're completing this course, what will happen is that you're going to appear for an exam. There will be center notified to you, and this is being charged by SWAYAM. That is 1,000 examination fees being charged. So you need to appear for that examination fee, which we have already disclosed that information on FAQ, and even it is mentioned on the SWAYAM portal also. So we do have ranking. We have a scores depending upon the rank also. So how much scores you're scoring on your exams, so that you will be defined into a and that certification is awarded with the pass percentage you require minimum. That is required to get that. So I hope, Lovis, I have cleared with you. If you require more, any other additional notes, just send me a mail on that, right? I hope you have the mail IDs, so you can send me. Can you hear me, Lovis Goel? Are you there? Fine. Anyone else? Before we close the session, anyone else want to take it forward with questions? Hope. Thank you so much. We'll be winding up the today's session, and hopefully we're looking forward for the week 3, which has already been live. And any of the questions can be addressed, and we'll be the coming month we'll be taking forward to our live interactions on week 3. So let's hope we meet in the next week. Thank you so much. Good night.
Yeah.